morning, everyone. Today is the day 4 for the French Revolution video. In this video, today we are going to learn about France, how the France became a constitutional monarchy. The topics which will be covered today will be the Great Fear. The second topic which will be covered today is the National Assembly. The third topic will be the laws made by the National Assembly. And the last topic for today is the Declaration of Rights of Men and Citizens. So let's continue our learning and let's move to the next slide. Yes, children, let's start our topic, the Great Fear. The National Assembly was busy at Versailles drafting a new constitution. But the rest of the France was seated with turmoil. There was turmoil throughout the France. A severe winter had meant a bad harvest. Due to that, there was less amount of food grains and the price of bread rose. Now, this price of bread often rose due to the hoarding of supplies. Many times, this price also rose because of the hoarding of supplies. And after spending long hours in the queue at bakery, crowds of angry women stormed into the shop and looted the shop. At the same time, the king ordered the troops to move into the Paris. On 14th July, the agitated crowd stormed Bastille. You all know about it. We have done it in the first video. The events that occurred on the 14th of July, and they destroyed the Bastille. Now, due to this, the rumor spread throughout the countryside that the king is going to send the troops to the village also to arrest the peasants and the workers. Now, these peasants and the workers were so furious, so angry, they attacked the noblemen and the feudal lords with their with their pitchforks and attacked them, attacked their manor and cheetahs. Now they looted because they were so hungry. They looted the hoarded grain and burned down their documents containing record of the manorial dues. A large number of nobles fled from their home. Many of them even migrated to the neighboring countries. This event in the French history is known as the Great Fear. Yes, students, we are continuing with the Great Fear. Now, due to the spread of the Great Fear, many nobles fled from their homes. I have told you earlier also about it. And they even migrated to the neighboring countries because they feared that their life are in danger. Now, what happened? Louis XVI finally recognized the National Assembly and accepted the principle that his powers would from now on be checked by the Constitution. On the night of 4th August 1789, the Assembly passed a decree abolishing the feudal system of obligation and taxes. Members of clergy too were forced to give up their privileges, and the tithes were abolished, and lands owned by the church were confiscated. As a result, the government acquired asset worth at least 2 billion livres. Now, as you all can see in the map which is over here, this is a map of France which is showing the epicenter of the Great Fear and how it has spreaded. The green color which you can see, these were the only areas in the France which were not affected by the Great Fear. Rest all the areas in the France were affected by the Great Fear. For this, you can even check in your textbook and you can refer to your textbook also. Now, let's learn about the National Assembly. The National Assembly completed the draft of the Constitution in 1791. Its main object was to limit the powers of monarch, These powers, instead of being concentrated in the hands of one person, were now separated and assigned to different institutions: the legislature, executive, and judiciary. This made France a constitutional monarchy. Now the monarch could not take any decision on its own. He has to take a decision with the consent of the different institutions which were assigned there. You can see this in the figure: who got the voting right and how the king power was controlled by the National Assembly, how judiciary and legislature worked. It is very clear in this figure which is over here. You can see the passive citizen, the active citizen, and then you can see the active citizen electing the electrodes. And from these electrodes, the National Assembly is made. They vote for the National Assembly. Members are elected to the National Assembly. They control the ministers. They control the king. This is the executive power. Legislature power you can see over here, and judiciary. The active citizen vote for the judges, and this is how the judiciary was formed. So now we see that France is becoming a constitutional monarchy. Now let us know about the features of the National Assembly. In the previous slide, you have already seen the figure of the National Assembly. The Constitution of 1791 vested the power to make laws in the National Assembly. The National Assembly was indirectly elected by the people. The active citizen voted for the group of electorates who in turn chose the assembly members. Not all the citizen has right to vote. Everybody did not have right to vote. Who had the right to vote? Let us find out that. The main highlights of the chain system were men who were above the 25 years of age and who paid taxes equal to at least 3 days of the labor's wages were given the status of active citizen. They had right to vote. The remaining men and all women were classed as a passive citizen. Women did not have right to vote. To qualify as an elector and then as a member of assembly, a man had to belong to the highest bracket of taxpayers. They had to belong to the highest bracket of the taxpayers. This is how the National Assembly was formed, and this National Assembly used to keep a check on the working of the monarch or the king. Now, let us know about the Declaration of Rights of Men and Citizen, which was an important feature of Constitution of 1791. The Constitution began with Declaration of Rights of Men and Citizen. Rights such as right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, equality before law were established as natural and inalienable rights. Nobody could take it from any individual. These rights belong to each human being by birth and could not be taken away. It was the duty of state to protect each citizen's natural right. So now what do we see here? That the Constitution of France that was made, it has a essence of democracy in it. And this is how the democracy was introduced in the world. And before we know that, America became an independent country, and when the American Constitution was made, they have put all these rights, they have put all these features which we see in the French Constitution already in their constitution, and it was followed in the France also. Let's recap what we have learned today. The National Assembly completed the draft of Constitution in 1791. Its main object was to limit the powers of the monarch. The powers now were separated and assigned to the different institutions like legislature, executive and judiciary. Active citizens were given right to vote. Passive citizens were not given right to vote. Women did not get right to vote. Rights such as right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, equality before law were established as natural and inalienable rights. It was a duty of state to protect the right of its citizen. This is what we have learned today. I hope you all have understood the topic. If you have a doubt, please write it in the comment box and then your doubts will be clear, or you can write it in your notebook. During the class time, we can discuss about your doubt and your doubts will be cleared. Do some homework. For the homework today, what you will do, you will open your textbook, you will read the source book of your textbook and interpret what are the views of the writer. Interpret in your own word. Try to interpret what are the views of the writer, what the writer is wanting to say, what he is trying to say. The second question which you will be doing in your notebook, you will write Declaration of Rights of Men and Citizen. And again for this, you will refer to source C of your textbook. You will refer to it. You will copy down all the rights which is written over there. This is your homework. Read it and do it.